Have you ever stopped doing something that you loved because you thought it wasn't healthy enough, or someone told you it wasn't enough of anything? That was me with Christmas cookies. Let me explain. Hi, I'm Dr. Kiyah Duffey, nutrition expert, entrepreneur, speaker, and mom of three. My research has always centered on dietary patterns and their connection to long-term health. And in my research, again and again and again, sugary foods, especially sugary beverages, kept showing up in the data. They are palatable, they are cheap, they are powerful. And once you start on that habit, it's really hard to pull back. So in my research, I kept hearing from adults who couldn't quite quit soda, right? And I watched the age at which kids started drinking sugary drinks. And we saw that age get younger and younger. In fact, in 2021, nearly half of all kids aged 1 to 5 had not eaten a vegetable in the previous week, but more than 57% of them had consumed a sugar-sweetened beverage. That is a powerful statistic. And for me, as a nutrition scientist and a new mom, it made me determined to be thoughtful about how I approached sugar in my house. I remember standing in my kitchen talking about this goal I had with a colleague to limit sugar. And I said, obviously we're not going to have soda in the house. It's just too hard to say no to it. I don't even want to bring it in. And I kind of trailed off, not really sure about what to say next or what other steps I'd take. And she looked around the kitchen and she said, well, obviously you won't keep these around. And these that she was referring to were freshly baked and decorated sugar cookies. Now, here's the thing. One of my strongest memories of a child is baking and decorating cookies with my mom. This is me at 6 years old. Look at the holes in the fit of my pajamas and the concentration on my face. I loved this time with my mom. And as I got older, started channeling my inner Martha Stewart, I would spend hours making and decorating cookies. It was meditative and I felt creative and connected me to my mom and to my childhood. But in that moment, standing in my kitchen with my colleague, I didn't see memories of joy. All of a sudden, all I could see were piles of sugar. And I imagined two options in the future: having to say no constantly to my kids, no, 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 or letting them go wild with sugar. And neither one felt right to me. And so I took her advice and I stopped decorating cookies. So fast forward 6 years, I was standing in the preschool pickup line one time chatting with another mom, and she casually mentioned that Friday, she was really excited because Friday was her family's sick day. And I must have looked really confused because she said, oh, no, we're not actually getting sick. It's just every year we pick a day and we take the kids out of school and my husband and I call in sick to work and we put on holiday music and we watch Christmas movies and we make and decorate cookies. And I know, it's full of sugar and inevitably someone eats too many and we get stomach aches, but we only have so much time at home with our kids, and these memories that we make on this sick day is priceless. I was floored. Here she was telling me that not only did she do this thing which I had quit doing, she turned it into a tradition. Any guesses what I did that afternoon? I went straight to the grocery store, I baked cookies, and I let my kids go to town. It was all of the things that I remembered from my own childhood and even more. And the next year, we did it again. Only this time, we invited friends. And now we have hosted a cookie decorating party at our house for the last 8 years. But it didn't stop there with cookies. That experience opened the door to a bigger realization for me. Food traditions, they aren't just cute or fun. They can be foundational. They are a part of what makes food matter. And since then, in our own house, we've added more traditions: pancake breakfast, raclette on Christmas Eve, birthday dinners where the birthday person gets to pick the meal, weekly pizza and movie nights. If you've been watching, we did this. So why this turn? Why this 180? Because listening to that mom made me realize I had evidence about what I wanted to do. I had goals that I had determined for myself. I even had advice about how to get there. But I was missing something critical, and that was my values. See, advice, even great advice, won't work in the long term if it doesn't align with what you value. And that's true whether we're talking about food, parenting, or life generally. So now, when someone gives me advice, even if it's well-meaning, research-backed advice, I ask myself, does this align with my values? And if not, I let it go. Because your values matter. And they are more than enough reason to make decisions, even if they look different than someone else's decisions. So if you've let go of a food tradition you loved because you thought you had to, you too can bring it back. It's not too late. You can shape a food culture in your own home that's not only nourishing, but joyful, meaningful, and deeply rooted in you. Thanks for watching.